This is Pastor Dave from the Wayside Presbyterian Church in Hamburg, New York. A few days ago, our world, including many in our own country, commemorated and celebrated what is called Earth Day. One of the phrases used during that celebration and commemoration was the phrase global warming. Well, what is global warming? Is it something that you take serious or maybe laugh off or just don't know much about? Well, it's increasingly being talked about by candidates running for public office. Even our own president, in one of his last State of the Union speeches, has mentioned his concern for the issue of global warming. Well, what is it and what causes it? Well, the Earth is estimated to be about 4 billion years old, and during those eons there have been epochs where we've had ice ages, we've had global warming, which have caused catastrophic changes in our Earth's weather and even in those who could survive in it. The last ice age is believed to have occurred about 33 million years ago, and since then our own species, the human, Homo sapiens, has evolved into existence from being hunter-gatherers to tribesmen and farmers and now industrial workers, and now some have said we're in the information age. And during those 33 million years, the temperature has been kept pretty constant at around 58 average degrees throughout the Earth by the atmosphere being fairly stable. And one of those stabilizing factors is an envelope which circles our Earth made up of carbon dioxide, which are effluents, emissions from fossil fuels and just organic material which grows in our Earth. And it's been a pretty good balance. Now, in past years, some are concerned that this envelope of carbon dioxide which surrounds our Earth is getting a bit too thick. When it gets too thick, the Earth will be plunged into a serious global warming, which has been recorded in some past epochs. On the other hand, if it gets too thin, then it will go slipping into another ice age. So what we would like, our wish, is that it stays around 58 degrees average temperature. So if global warming is an issue and this envelope or this blanket is getting too thick, then we have to cut back some of the emissions of carbon dioxide, which comes mainly from burning fossil fuels in our land and throughout the world, in transporting our automobiles, in trucks, and in heating our homes and running our businesses. Is that possible? Well, I believe it is. Countries in Europe and in Asia, like Japan, now average 45 to 50 miles per gallon with their automobiles, which, if we would do that in our country, would set us back 70% of those carbon emissions, which many leaders and countries have adopted a goal for the year 2050. Can you imagine that? From an average of automobiles and light trucks in our country now of 25 miles per gallon to nearly 50 would be a 70% reduction in emissions. It's possible. The technology is there. The Swiss, the Germans will be coming out with cars on the market next year which average between 100 and 150 miles per gallon. So it's there, and the turn, I believe, will be made. As far as our homes and our businesses, churches like this, I think there are alternatives just beginning to be explored and used in wind technology, solar panels, biomass energy production. I rode on a plane a few years ago to Phoenix, Arizona with a government engineer. And we were talking and I asked him what he was doing in Phoenix. He said, well, he was studying the development of solar panels as an efficient form, as an alternative use to electricity being produced by coal fire furnaces. I said, well, when will that become practical? Well, he said, if oil ever reaches $40 a barrel, then it will be a top priority. Well, oil passed $40 a barrel for crude oil some years ago, and still nothing has been done. And now it's nearly $120 a barrel of crude oil. So it just takes a matter of will and seeing that it is a possibility that we can do, if we just recognize that it can be a very important issue. We also could contact our representatives, our senators in Washington and our state offices. I know sometimes they are the last to jump on, but that's the nature of the case. They read the polls, and they want to know if it's a concern for Americans like you and me. As Dwight Eisenhower said, that he saw the day when people would want peace, and we would say environmental changes so much that government would just had better get out of their way or make the changes. And I can see that day coming as you and I accept the responsibility and make responsible choices and work toward that day, so that our children, grandchildren, and those who follow us will enjoy the same kind of Earth's atmosphere with clean air and water and soil that we have in our years gone by. Thank you for listening. For again, this has been Pastor Dave at the Wayside Presbyterian Church in Hamburg, wishing you a blessed day, a green lifestyle, and peace at the last. Good day.